Major League Baseball is now tracking new stats on players, including exactly how close they get to one another. Sports teams of all kinds are experimenting with this sort of tech. Even in a contact sport like football, the field is less of a COVID risk than rooms like this, according to the NFL.
We never saw the virus transmit from one side of the ball to another during a game. Did not happen in our environment.
Look closely and you can see these devices on everybody. 7,000 players and staff wore them this season. They're proximity trackers made by sports performance tech company KINEXON.
The device is a simple sensor, and in real time it's telling you like the physical distance to your coworker next to you. It's blinking red if you're too close. It can give you a beep and an acoustic signal if you want, if you're staying close too long.
We learned from analyzing the data that came from the proximity devices a fair number of lessons that were then applied into new protocols as we move through the season. Lengthen the space between lockers or limit the number of people allowed in the locker room at any given time. Many of the clubs used multiple added buses so that they could space people out. As soon as we heard a chirp or we saw that light flash, you would see people take one large step backwards.
A recent study showed that another wearable sensor, the OURA ring, can spot COVID symptoms before we do. The OURA ring tracks my body temperature, my heart rate, how well I sleep. Today I have a readiness score of 93. But it's one thing to use this as a fitness tracker. Are we really ready for a world in which our chances of getting sick get shared with our employers? OURA already does this for hundreds of organizations, from the NBA and WNBA to NASCAR and Formula One. And it's not just sports. So will devices like these be a staple in every workplace down the road?
Luckily, we've been, had the pleasure to partner with so many different types of organizations, sports teams, regular, businesses such as Las Vegas Sands and even soldiers and the defense sector.
Do you think the future also includes reporting data like this ring to someone's employer, right? Like, does NBC start to see my data? Is that the future of this, do you think?
They wouldn't be able to see actually what time you went to bed or what your heart rate was or if you're getting stressed. What they would see is a probability that, hey, someone in Jake or someone in his office or on his floor will see 2 people that look like they're getting sick. Oh, now it looks like it's 4. Now it looks like it's 6.
Major League Baseball's new operations manual, distributed to the 30 clubs and obtained by NBC News, says the data will be destroyed after 21 days, but that not wearing a tracker may be a basis for discipline. The European makers of the KINEXON sensors say it makes sense at work, but not at home.
We as an employer are responsible to the safety of our employees, and that's why we deploy that. But I think it's hard for a country to say everyone has to wear a device. Part of because people don't want to be traced, but they're willing to accept to be traced within institutional settings.
Jake joins me live now. Jake, I'm so excited that you're here. Pitchers and catchers, it brings hope. Spring is coming. Baseball's on the way. Is Major League Baseball planning to use those devices during the regular season, especially since this league does not play in a bubble?
Well, Allison, it's not specifically spelled out in that operations manual that NBC had a look at, but it is spelled out that they need to begin wearing these trackers beginning today, right? Beginning in spring training. And there is a long list of protocols that they're going to have to follow. Quarantine protocols. Every team has to have a contact tracing officer. They're taking it very seriously. But certainly the lesson from the NFL was that using this kind of tracker really can keep the virus at least under something like control. And in this case, even though there's no particular end date on this, that's probably just a reflection of the fact that we don't know how many people are going to be vaccinated by the time that season is over. And as a result, they're starting now and are probably going to play it by ear.
Jake, you always bring us the coolest stories. Thank you so very much. We love seeing you.
Appreciate it.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here. And click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.